Welcome to the Unit 39 of our course Sociology of Health and Illness. Dear learners, in the previous unit we have discussed about the issues faced by the persons with disability. In this unit, let us understand the role of family, community and the state to support the persons with disability during different stages. Disability of a child or any other member impacts the entire family. There are issues of social isolation, insecurity, and financial and emotional crisis that the family members go through. Thus, in this unit, we will try to understand the challenges faced by the families of persons with disability, role of community involvement, role of organizations, and significance of early intervention to detect and deal with disabilities among children. Now let us try to understand the role of family member in supporting persons with disability. As the family is a basic unit of society, it performs essential functions for its individual members as well as for the society at large. In spite of the fact that with the changing times, the family too has undergone changes in its structure and functions, but still it is recognized as the most stable and effective system of taking care of its members, both able-bodied as well as disabled. Thus, parents with children with disability have a further role apart from normal parenting who have to raise a child with disability who will be more dependent on them for a longer period, or in most cases lifelong dependency on the parents or caregiver is seen. Now let us try to know about the role of community involvement. Community exists due to the basic fundamentals and the mutual understanding of the people, including norms, religion, identity, and values. Community participation is the involvement of individuals in community projects and entails giving all the individuals an opportunity to participate in activities that can have a positive effect on their health or lives in general. Some factors that encourage community participation include the traditional, religious, and social obligation for mutual help and the need to belong to a specific group. Community participation encourages members to work in areas that improve their life skills by participating in various activities. For people with disability, community participation gives them a sense of belongingness and increases their ability to live independently. Some of the benefits that we can list from community participation are: it promotes independence, it improves social and life skill, it reduces the risk of mental disorders, it promotes positive attitude, it reduces further accidents and breaks stereotypes. Now let us try to know about the role of developmental organizations in empowering women and children with disabilities. It is recognized that NGOs have been playing a significant role in the development of rehabilitation services for persons with disability worldwide. This has been done regularly even in the absence of government involvement, which initially took an institutional, charity-based approach. Present-day developments, however, favor a participatory, community-based approach, complementing and liaising with government plans and services and working with all the stakeholders involved. But NGOs and governments vary in their capacity to change their working practices to achieve these aims. Services may also be provided to address the needs and priorities of the child's family. Family-directed services are meant to help family members understand the special needs of their child and how to enhance his or her development. The Ministry of Social Justice and Empowerment has been striving to provide services with universal coverage and equitable distribution for persons with disabilities. Now let us try to know about some of the preventive measures. Prevention is essential for reducing the incidence of impairment or disability. Majority of disabilities can be avoided if efforts are taken during the prenatal, natal, and the postnatal stages itself. Prevention is therefore cost effective compared to treatment and rehabilitation. Prevention of disability is carried out through public health measures aimed at preventing the diseases at the first place, through medical measures that treat the disease, and through curative and rehabilitative measures which treat the impairment or the disability, with three types of measures forming a continuum of primary, secondary, and tertiary prevention. Now let us try to know about these stages of prevention. First is the primary prevention. It involves prevention of the manifestation of the disability, reduce the occurrence or delay the disabling process with focus to all the high risk groups. Here efforts are: first is genetic counseling. It means counseling about genetic disorders, prevention of transmission of genetic genes. Then comes immunization programs. During infancy, it prevents diseases like tuberculosis, meningitis, etc. Then comes improved prenatal, perinatal, and postnatal care. It involves management of maternal risk factors at a time of delivery, support for the premature babies, etc. Then comes the regulations and legislations. It calls for mandatory immunization. Then we have the secondary prevention. Here the focus is on reducing the duration or severity of disability. This involves early identification, intervention, and treatment to minimize the development of disability. Now we have the neonatal screening. It involves examination of all neonates to rule out specific disorders, genetic and developmental disabilities. Example, screening of hypothyroidism, thalassemia, etc. Nowadays, genetic or surgical procedures on an affected fetus are carried out to correct any abnormality such as congenital heart disease, cleft lip, etc. Then we have the tertiary prevention. This limits or reduces the effects of a disability by providing long-term management care, rehabilitation or correction of the disability to lead normal or manageable life, and enables integration in society. The first step in prevention is the accurate and early recognition of disability if the above preventive measures are to be carried out. It is easy to identify certain abnormalities on the basis of physical or clinical examination, such as skeletal abnormalities, blindness, hearing, speech disorders, chromosomal anomalies, etc. But certain disorders take time to identify or diagnose. Parents, especially mother, plays an important role in early detection of disability, development delays in movement, speech, learning, etc. If any diagnosis of genetic disorder is identified in the parent, even before conception, counseling is given about preventing the pregnancy of child with abnormality. Sometimes during pregnancy, tests are done to identify such defects, and parents are prepared to take care for a child who might have disability. Many conditions can be prevented or reduced in the level of disability if there is an institutional mechanism to screen, detect, and intervene in the right time. For early detection, it is important to ensure adequate education and orientation of the families and technical assistance to them by medical social services. Now let us try to know about the interventions. Early detection and early intervention can avoid the progression of several disabilities. Birth to 6 years of age is crucial time for holistic development of the child, where early intervention can be carried out. Identification and intervention should happen simultaneously without losing out time, as it is key in reducing the overall disability burden. Many of the conditions, example autism spectrum disorders, muscular dystrophy, cerebral palsy, etc., need therapeutic intervention by professionals. Depending on the type of disability, the intervention has to be applied, which can be medical or non-medical in nature. Emphasis is on rehabilitative, therapeutic, or psychological interventions. Some surgical procedures are also necessary to correct disabilities. Now let us discuss about the rehabilitation services aimed at the persons with disability. Rehabilitation services are aimed at facilitating the participation of disabled persons in the regular community services and activities. The main objective is to enable them to function independently in all areas in society and be gainfully employed. They should be mainstreamed or reintegrated in society. Severe disability can be minimized if preventive and rehabilitative measures are provided at early stage in their life. Rehabilitation includes the following types of services: early detection, diagnosis and intervention, then medical care and treatment. Then we have social, psychological and other types of counseling and assistance. Then training in self-care activities. Then we have provision of technical and mobility aids and other devices. Also, there should be specialized education services and vocational rehabilitation services. Then follow-up is also necessary. The abilities, potential and capacities of the person should be focused in the rehabilitation services to get the maximum benefit. The abilities, potential and the capacities of the person should be focused in the rehabilitation services so that the person with disability can get the maximum benefit. Families and communities of the disabled person should also be involved, as they are a very strong source of support. Participation of the persons with disability in the decision making related to their rehabilitation is very crucial, as they have a right to do so. Now let us try to know about the institution-based rehabilitation programs. Institution-based rehabilitation is one of the 3 approaches in rehabilitation of the PWDs. These services are provided in hospitals, both public and private, or institutions through short-term or special treatment with the purpose of addressing their needs and concerns. Most of the institution-based programs start at an early stage where skilled professionals provide treatment and focused interventions. The number of beneficiaries in an institution is usually small in number, but specialized care, advanced medical approaches can be provided by an interdisciplinary team consisting of physician, psychiatrist, physiotherapist, speech therapist, psychologist, psychiatric social worker, nursing care, etc. Many a times, people with severe disabilities are treated in hospitals or institutions where they may need special attention and management. But all those needing institutional-based care may not be able to avail all these due to financial constraints. Now let us try to know about rehabilitation counseling. Counseling is an important part of rehabilitation. Rehabilitation counseling is a scientific process where the counselor provides the person with special needs to achieve the personal, career, and independent living goals according to their ability. In addition, rehabilitation counseling supports the individual to face the challenges of day to day life in the social situation and enhance the self esteem, overcome the negativity with psychological process. Rehabilitation counselor works with three types of therapists. These are physiotherapy, occupational therapy, and speech therapy. All therapies serves a unique purpose in helping the individual to recover fully. The ultimate goal of all these therapies is to help the person enjoy an active and healthy life. Occupational therapists help a person with disability to learn daily life skills, and rehabilitation counselor provides psychological support to overcome from emotional and physical impairment with their own abilities. Rehabilitation counselor also teaches the client, family, and employers how to live with a person with disability and what is expected out of them and how to adjust with their learning and coping skills. Rehabilitation counselor also teaches a student the transition from school to work. A student with physical and mental disability has to suffer their life with stress, them too, and the counselor helps them to manage this stress. Rehabilitation counselors also work with older people with physical or mental disabilities that can happen to them at a later part of their life because of any illness or injury. They support the older people to live the life with dignity and peace. Rehabilitation counselors usually work in hospital settings, hospital facilities, and others in private practice. And others are in private practice. Now let us try to know about the Rehabilitation Council of India 1992. The Rehabilitation Council of India is a registered society set up in 1986 as an apex government body. On September 1992, the RCI Act was enacted by the Parliament and it became a statutory body on 22nd June 1993. The purpose of the Act envisaged the constitution of Rehabilitation Council of India for regulating the training and development of rehabilitation professionals, monitor services given to PWD, standardize the syllabi, and maintenance of a central rehabilitation register of all qualified personnels and personnel working in the field of rehabilitation and special education. The rehabilitation professionals according to this act refers to audiologists and speech therapists, clinical psychologists, hearing aid and ear mold technicians, special educators, vocational counselors, employment officers and placement officers working with persons with disability, and then multiple purpose rehabilitation therapists, technicians or other categories of professionals that the central government may include in consultation with the council. The Act also suggests strict action against unqualified personnel providing services to persons with disability. The RCI offers a wide range of certificate, diploma, PG diploma, degree, PG degree, and short-term or refresher courses through regular and distance mode for the disabled person. It executes various functions related to education and training. The Council lays down policy parameters regarding various aspects of training and education in the field of rehabilitation, and all institutions have to seek recognition from RCI as per provisions of RCI Act 1992. The Community-Based Rehabilitation or CBR Forum was registered as Collective Action for Basic Rights Foundation under Societies Registration Act in New Delhi to reach out to the unreached rural and tribal parts of the country with a purpose to empower and include persons with disability to ensure their full participation in family and community life. They focus on activities throughout the country by partnering with persons with disability, NGOs, disabled people's organizations, governments, and other stakeholders in the community for promoting the well-being of the disabled groups. Through partnership with 62 NGOs and 76 programs, the CBR Forum reaches out to all categories of PWDs with no discrimination extending across all genders and socioeconomic strata. However, priority groups are women and children, severe and multiple disabled people, those in rural and tribal areas. This forum capacitates NGOs to provide services until DPOs are able to take it up with the state, ultimately ensuring that the government responsibly undertakes to provide quality services for the PWDs. Standalone CBR program, district level initiative, CBR program, mainstreaming of PWDs at the organizational level, lifting barriers, fellowship programs, and DPOs are their overall strategies. So dear learners, in this unit we have discussed about some of the basic support required by the persons with disability from the family, community, and non-governmental organizations as well as the state. Thank you.